Hello students, how are you? I hope you all are fit and fine. So dear students, today in the series of revision, today we are going to revise these two chapters in snapshots. Already we have done chapter 1 in snapshot, and also we have revised two chapter 1 and 2 and one poem in hornbills. So first of all, as you know that we have decided to revise all the chapters which are coming your UT 1. Yesterday we discussed about notice writing, and we have discussed all the chapters in grammar, all the topics of grammar, and also we have discussed the writing skills, notice writing, as in UT1 only notice writing will be there. Okay, so now we are going to discuss these two chapters which are going to come in your examination, and your examination, your UT1 examination is going to start in the last week of this month. Okay, let us begin. So dear students, today we are going to revise chapter 2, the address, written by Marga Minko, and chapter 3, Ranga's marriage. Sorry, let me correct this spelling here. It should be marriage. Ranga's marriage, written by Master Venkatesha Engar. Okay. Already line by line explanation has been done. You can watch the old videos uploaded on YouTube. Okay. Let us begin the revision. In revision, as you know that we discuss first important facts about the chapters, summary of the chapters. Then we discussed short answer type questions, long answer type questions, then some questions for your practice. Let us begin. So let's start with the chapter 3, Ranga's marriage, written by Masti Venkatesha Younger. The story is about a boy. A lot of discussion already done regarding this chapter in online classes. Let us revise first chapter to the address. Sorry. So after this we will be discussing it. Let us revise chapter 2, the address. So already regarding chapter 2 also a lot of discussion done in online classes through PPTs and through this supporting material. The address, written by Marga Minko. What are the main points of the chapter? Marga Minko is the narrator. She was a girl of 15 or 17. Her family was Jewish, and Hitler was planning to kill all the Jews in Germany, Holland, Austria, etc. The war led to exodus of Jewish families towards safer places. They were forced to abandon their homes and belongings. This short story is touching account of a daughter who goes in search of her mother's belongings after the war in Holland. When she finds them, the objects evoke memories of her old life. However, she decides to leave them all behind and resolves to move on. A lady named Dorling comes to Mrs. S. house to give pre-war information to Mrs. S. The narrator happens to meet Mrs. Dorling on one of her visits to her house and remembers her taking away a suitcase full of their belongings. Mrs. S tells her daughter that Mrs. Dorling has good intentions of keeping their belongings safe during the wartime. She has offered to help the narrator's family and carrying their household utensils, furniture, and all other valuables. When the war was over and the Japs were feeling safe in these countries, Marga, the narrator, returned to her house, which was no more, and lived in a small hut. She has lost her mother and missed her dearly. One day, Marga thinks of woman, Mrs. Dorling, who had taken all her possessions. She recalls her address, 46 Marconi Street, and goes to the address by train. Mrs. Dorling opens the door and is surprised to see the narrator. When the narrator introduces herself, she refuses to recognize her. Perhaps Mrs. Dorling was not expecting that she would ever return after the war. On the other hand, the narrator recognizes the woolen cardigan which Mrs. Dorling was wearing as it belonged to her mother. Marga was terribly pinched, hurt, disappointed, and betrayed by the behavior of Mrs. Dorling. Anyhow, the first visit ends on a sad note. She grew impatient after a while and decided to visit Mrs. Dorling once again. When she rang the bell at house number 46, Mrs. Dorling's daughter meets the narrator and offers her a cup of tea. Marga goes inside. She recognizes many articles that once belonged to her mother but were now being used in a distasteful manner by the Dorling family. Marga is hurt and disgusted at the shrewdness of Mrs. Dorling. She loses the desire of taking back her mother's belongings as they evoke sad memories of the war and painful loss of the mother in her heart. She resolves to forget the address and move on in life. So it's all about the lesson which we have read, and this is the some main points which we have just gone through. Now let us discuss some solve short answer type questions, then solve long answer type questions, then some questions will be for your practice. Why did the narrator go to Mrs. Dorling's house? The narrator went to Mrs. Dorling's house to collect her valuable belongings, and her mother had given her, which her mother had given her during wartime. She wanted to renew her past memories. Why was the narrator confident that she had reached the correct address? The narrator, now answer. The narrator remembered the house number 46. She recognized her sweater with its button. On seeing her cardigan with Mrs. Darling, she was confident that she had reached the correct address. How did Mrs. Darling's daughter treat the narrator? Unlike Mrs. Darling, the daughter invited the narrator inside her house. She offered her a cup of tea. Why did the narrator decide not to collect her belongings? The narrator was disappointed after recognizing her belongings in a stench and dirty environment. She didn't feel comfortable on seeing all those valuable articles in Mrs. Darling's house. Why did the narrator's mother ask her to remember the address by heart? The narrator's mother asked her to remember the address by heart because she gave a number of household valuable articles to Mrs. Darling during the wartime. She thought that her daughter would collect all that after the war was over. So these are some solved questions. Now let us go through some unsolved questions which you must write in your notebook and practice. You must write their answers. Why was Mrs. Darling surprised to recognize the author? Question number 2. Who helped the author to recognize Mrs. Darling during her first visit? Third, why did the author feel upset on her visit to Mrs. Darling's house? 4. How did the author feel towards the store staff at Mrs. Darling's house? Why did she feel so? 5th, what type of girl was the author? How did you form this opinion? Describe the author's meeting with Mrs. Darling's daughter. What type of the traumas do wars cause? Question number 8. What was the girl thinking when she was traveling home by train? Question number 9. Why did she resolve to forget the address? Question number 11. I resolved to forget the address of all the things I had to forget. That would be the easiest. Comment. Question number 11. Which address had the narrator remembered for years? Why? Question number 12. Why did the narrator desire to see the stored stuff after so long? Question number 13. What do you gather about the character of Mrs. Darling in the story? Question number 14. Describe the incident of Mrs. Darling's daughter opening the box of cutlery. Why did the author not wait to meet Mrs. Darling? Question number 16. The address was correct, but I didn't want to remember anymore. Why did the narrator say so? Question number 17. What important lessons of life do we learn from the story The Address? Now let us go through some long answer type questions. Answers to these questions you have to write in 120 words. Do you think the title of the story, The Address, is appropriate? Question number 2. Comment on the statement, The Address is not a story of post-war human predicament. Question number 3. After reading the story, what opinion do you form about the narrator's character? Question number 4. It is not easy to let off past memories and possessions. Do you agree? Why? Why not? Question number 5. Past, whether good or bad, is gone. We must never worry about it. All we need to make the best of our present. Explain with reference to the story, The Address. So it's all about chapter 2, dear students, in which we have discussed main points of the chapter. So some solve short answer type question and some long answer type questions, and short answer type questions as well as long answer type questions are there for your practice. So you must write these questions in your notebook and practice. Okay. Now let us discuss chapter 3. Ranga's Marriage, written by Masti Venkatesha Iyengar. The story is about a boy who returns to his village after receiving education in English medium from Bangalore. The boy is the son of the accountant of the village. They live in the village Hosahali in Mysore. When the boy returns, the whole village floods over him to see if there is any change in his appearance. The courtyard turns black with the heads of villagers. The incident has been compared with a historical event known as the Black Hole of Calcutta. Shyama, the narrator too, goes inside the courtyard to see Ranga. The young boy recognizes him and greets him respectfully. The narrator is deeply impressed with his manners and immediately decides to find a suitable match for his marriage. But Ranga has starkly opposite views about marriage. Ranga had opposite views about marriage. He tells Shyama that he had no interest in getting married as he believed in quality of age and maturity for getting married. Shyama meets disappointed, yet he gets determined to get him married to Ratna, an 11-year-old girl, the niece of his friend Ram Rao. She was from a big town and knew how to play veena and harmonium. He came up with a plan. He asked Ram Rao's wife to send Ratna to his place to fetch some buttermilk. So she came on Friday wearing a grand sari he requested Ratna to sing and sent for Ranga. Ranga reached the narrator's place and stopped outside the room as he did not want to disrupt the singing, but he was curious to see the face. So peeped in. He was curious to see her face as Ratna was singing so nicely. Ranga noticed the stranger and stopped abruptly. Ranga came in and the girl left. Curiously, he inquired about the girl, and narrator cleverly played his words. He told Ranga that the girl was married off a year ago and noticed that Ranga's face had shriveled up like a roasted brinjal out of disappointment. Ranga was attracted to the girl but was yet to admit this. Shyama was happy as his plan was working. Later, the narrator takes Ranga to Ram Rao's home and asks her to wait outside. When he comes outside, he confirms that Ratna was not married. Light returns to Ranga's face. Then Shyama takes Ratna to the house of his astrologer friend, Shastri, with whom he had already hatched a plan to know Ranga's feeling for Ratna. Ranga falls into the trap and admits his attraction towards Ratna. The story moves forward 10 years. Ranga has come to invite the narrator at his son Shyama's third birthday. Obviously, Ratna and Ranga had been married. They have named their son Shyama as a tribute for the efforts he made to get the two of them married. Ranga is an educated boy with exposure to English, which is rare achievement in those days. He proclaims to be modern and open-minded about equality in marriage, yet he marries a girl nearly 11 years old. It clearly exposes his hypocrisy, double standards, and indicates that child marriage is as much prevalent in educated families. So it's all about this chapter, dear students. Now let us discuss some short answer type questions. Why was Hosali famous? The village Hosali was famous for mangoes which were extremely sour and huge leaves of creeper to serve meals. So Hosali, the village Hosali was famous for mangoes which were extremely sour and huge leaves of creeper to serve meals. Who was Ranga? Why was he sent to Bangalore? Ranga was the son of village accountant Ram Rao. He sent Ranga to Bangalore to study. Why were the villagers disappointed on seeing Rangappa? The villagers had anticipated that he would be a change from after going to Bangalore, but they were disappointed when they saw that he was not changed. Even his Ginevra was intact. He was the same person with the same features. Who was Ratna? Why did Ranga decide to marry her? Ratna was Ram Rao's niece who came to stay with him after the death of her parents. Ranga was so impressed by her a melodious voice that he decided to marry her. Describe the raw mango episode. Now some questions for your practice. You must write all these questions and practice them. Question number 1. Describe the raw mango episode. 2. How was English influenced the author's village in recent years? Question number 3. Why is a village accountant called courageous by the author? Question number 4. What made people rush to the accountant's house? Question number 5. Everyone was surprised to see that Ranga was the same as he had been 6 months ago. Why? Question number 6. Why did the old lady run after her hand over Ranga's chest? Question number 7. Why was the narrator upset on knowing about the Ranga's decision to remain a bachelor? Question number 8. Describe the meeting when the narrator took Ranga to Shastri. Question number 9. How does the author justify his use of the title Ranga's marriage for the story? Question number 10. Why is narrator's opinion about mingling of English words with mother tongue? Question number 11. Why was Ranga's homecoming a great event? Question 12. Why is the black hole of Calcutta referred to in the story? Question number 13. The crowd melted away like a lump of sugar in a child's mouth. Why did the crowd melt away? Question number 14. How did Ranga greet the author when he noticed his presence? Question number 15. What were Ranga's views on marriage? Question number 16. Briefly describe Ranga and Ratna's first meeting. Question number 17. Ranga was grateful towards the author and his marriage with Ratna. How did he express his gratitude? Now some long answer type questions. For your practice, then we will discuss some solved questions. Astrologers may manipulate facts to arrange a marriage in modern times. Discuss with reference to the lesson. Question number 2. Comment on the narrative style of the narrator in the story Ranga's marriage. Question number 3. How did the narrator play an important role in arranging Ranga's marriage? Question number 4. What proposal and social values do you think are important to the narrator? Do you think they are related to contemporary world? Why? Why not? Now some solved long answer type questions. What was special about Rangappa? How did the villagers react to it? Now answer. 10 years ago, there were not many villages in Hosahalli village who knew English. Rangappa, the accountant's son, enjoyed a unique distinction. He was the first one to be sent to Bangalore to pursue his studies. This was considered an act of courage on part of his father. It was an important event in the village, a sort of first of its type. Naturally, Ranga's homecoming was a great event. The crowds of villagers milled around his house to see whether he had changed or not. People were quite excited because Ranga had returned home after studying English at Bangalore. An old lady ran her hand over Ranga's chest. She looked into his eyes. She was satisfied to find the sacred thread of his body. She felt happy that he had not lost his caste. People People disappeared from the scene once they realized that Ranga had not undergone any material change. Question number 3. Give a brief account of the narrator's 2 meetings with Ranga after the latter's return from Bangalore. What opinion did he form about the young man? So when Ranga returned home after getting his education in Bangalore, people collected around him to see him. The narrator was attracted by the crowd. He too went and stood in the courtyard. Ranga came out, smile on his face. After everyone had gone, the narrator asked Rangappa how he was. Ranga noticed him and came near him. He folded his hands and touched narrator's feet. He said that he was all right, and the narrator's blessings, with the narrator's blessings, the narrator blessed him and wished him that he might get married soon. They exchanged some polite, friendly remarks. Then the narrator left. The afternoon, when the narrator was resting, Ranga came to his house with a couple of oranges in his hand. The narrator thought that Ranga was a generous, considerate fellow. He was of the opinion that it would be fine to have him marry, settle down, and be of service to the society. Question number 4. What were Ranga's ideas about marriage? Do you find any change them during the course of the story? Ranga was influenced by the English way of life in the matter of marriage. He was not in favor of arranged marriages, and the time where the brides we were quite young. at the times when brides were quite young. He told the narrator that he was sent getting married just then. He gave two reasons. First, he must find the right girl. He must be mature enough to understand his love talk. A very young girl might take his words spoken in love as words spoken in anger. He gives example of a 30-year-old officer who married a 35-year-old lady, and that of a kind Dushyant falling in love with Shakuntala. The second reason he gave was that one should marry a girl one loves. During the course of the story, he finds a change in Ranga's ideas about marriage. Not only is he fascinated by Ram Rao's 11-year-old niece Ratna, he also married her in the old tradition way of arranged marriages. So dear students, now question number 5th I am not going to read out. You can take the screenshot, go through the questions, and please write down all the questions. These are the solved questions. You will have to read the answers, then rewrite answer on your own. Okay, so please go through each and every questions, whether they are solved or unsolved. You have to practice all the questions I am showing here once again, so that you can take the screenshot. Okay, so I am showing here the questions which I haven't read out. I am showing you so that you people can take the screenshot. Okay class, so thank you for watching. In my next class I will discuss other chapter, so we will be revising some other chapters. So thank you students for watching the video.